Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with the second layout using the April Hit Kit, and I'm showing you some of the stuff that I might be using. A lot of it is from the color kit, the Project Life add-on, the main kit, the embellishment add-on. What I do is I throw everything into some iris containers, and if you're wondering what I mean by iris containers, I actually have a product review of the iris containers, just so that, because I had so many questions about those containers and where did I get them and all that stuff, that I made a small video for National Scrapbooking Day so that I could refer people to it all the time. So this pattern paper that I'm going to use as the background, I can't remember if I brought it up to the camera to show the branding strip, but the back side of that, I think it's Webster's Pages if I remember correctly. And the back side was a cut apart sheet. And the B side was this floral, and it's greenish. So yes, I'm going to scrap 2 green layouts in a row. I mentioned last time that it's one of my favorite colors, and it's not in scrapbook layouts a lot, so or in papers. And I just find that whenever it is, I make sure to scrap it right away. And that way, I know I'm going to get to use it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to do some kind of coloring to the background and everything. So I'm going to put some clear gesso to the background, and to make sure that the paper doesn't get too wet and get warped. And the clear gesso I just bought at Michael's, and I used a 40 or 50% coupon on it. Actually, this time around, I believe I'm using white gesso maybe. Yes, I am using white gesso because I just wanted to tone down that green because I wanted to use the other green, and the green was a little bit different, so by adding the white gesso, I'm just toning it down. And then I just used a dry baby wipe to kind of spread it out. I don't have a preferred way to spread it out. I use whatever is, I guess, more available, whether it's a baby wipe or my palette knife, or with the baby wipe, it is much softer than with let's say with the palette knife. But with the clear gesso, it doesn't matter because it really it doesn't show. So, and now what I'm doing is I'm using the Prima watercolors that came in the color add-on, and I wanted to add some green, so I took the greenest color, and I'm taking some packaging and just putting some color onto the packaging, and then kind of smooshing it and putting colors on the background. And I guess there's 2 tones of green in that watercolor package, and I just used both colors. And now I just wet my brush and put on the tip, and I'm making splatters. And it kind of saves the pencil a little bit because I'm only, I'm putting water on my brush, and then I'm getting it as wet as it needs to be, and then I'm able to do splatters. So I could have went and found some spray stain or some Mr. Huey mist in the same color, but I had everything right there, so I just decided to do the mist with that, the dots, I guess, with that. Now I'm going to start playing with the arrangement of the pattern papers. And my first thought, this is what I wanted to do. Those 3 pieces of 3x3, I guess, pieces of cardstock or pattern paper, and it comes on a sheet, and it was a cut apart, and actually it was a 6x6 pattern paper pad, and there was 4, and when the last layout I did, I wanted one of them, so there was 3 left. My thought at first was to cut down the photo so it fit in that 4th square and kind of build from there. but the photo just really didn't fit in that space. And that photo there the other day, my hair is wet there because I had just gotten out of the shower, and I kind of took a selfie of my t-shirt because it says certified 100% scrapaholic for life. And on my Facebook group, if you're part of my Facebook group, you know that this month, the month of May, National Scrapbooking Month, or the National Scrapbooking Day was this month, I challenged everyone to do a page to talk about, why you started scrapbooking. When did you start? How did you hear about it? And, just so it's recorded, because it's such a big part of everyone's life, especially if you're part of the group, then that, if most of us take it pretty seriously, it's a great hobby, but we spend a lot of our awake hours scrapbooking or thinking about it or taking pictures so that we can scrap them later, or watch videos, or make videos, or process videos. And so a lot of time is committed to that. So I just wanted it documented. So the title of this is my second page that I'm doing about this, and it's because I don't want the journaling on one page to be like so long. And this one here is going to be lifer because it's for life. Like, I started 16 years ago, and it's not as if I had a lull of, X amount of years that I stopped doing it. Maybe there were some times that, I didn't do 30 layouts in a month, but I was still watching, either videos or buying products or doing a page here and there. I was still involved in, taking pictures or whatever the case may be. I was still doing stuff that was related. Now, in my life, I have done many different crafts, and that I did before I started scrapping. And all those, they're all gone. Like, I don't do them anymore. The only one that I still have the stuff to do it, and I haven't done it in years, is cross stitching. I still have all the stuff with the hopes that, maybe someday I'll be able to pick it up again. My only thing is with cross stitching is it takes so long. You work on one thing and it just takes forever. I like the scrapbooking aspect, and we think that an hour is a long time to do a page, but think of how many hours a person can put in a cross stitch. It's hours and hours and hours and hours. So for me, an hour on a scrapbook layout, an hour and a half, even 2 hours, it's almost instant gratification compared to something like cross stitch. And the other thing is with cross stitch, once your walls are full, what are you going to do with all that stuff? And you can give it away, I suppose, and that kind of stuff. And as far as scrapbooking, for me, I remember, I just thought of this quite a few years ago. My son was still a baby, so I just started scrapbooking. I was invited at a school. I think it was like something like Career Day or something like that. It wasn't even my son's school. It was a school that's 45 minutes away from here. They had seen me somewhere, promoting my classes, and they just thought it was awesome, and they wanted me to go and show the kids there. So I spent a whole day there, and when the kids would come by, this is how, I explained it to them. I said, like in class, you learn about history. Well, somebody wrote that. Somebody, took the time to make sure that all of this stuff was recorded. Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm recording my family's history, and I'm doing it in a way with pictures and with decorations and words. And the kids thought it was just awesome. They absolutely loved it. And it was actually a fun day. And so that's how I look at it. I'm recording our lives. And I know I'm not, we're not anybody super important, but to, future generations of Jones, we are going to be important. So it's just fun. And I have to say, I do it a lot for me too. It's just a way for me to relax, and I enjoy the craft. I enjoy the hobby. And so that's what the journaling is going to be about. So now what I did was I went into my stash and I just got, it was a Lindy Stamp Gang mist. And I'm going to show the color here in a minute. I think it's called a Luscious Lime. Yeah. And I just took the nozzle and I just made a circle. I just found like everything was just too linear and I just wanted some circles. So I just took the nozzle of it and I just made a big circle. And then I'm putting my layout right in, or my layers of photos right in the middle of that. Now I just found that this green was just kind of floating. Nothing was kind of grounding it. So what I did was I went into my tub that I keep my hip kit in. And I always buy the cardstock add-on. And this month in a cardstock add-on, there was a nice green. And I probably would have preferred a darker green, but it worked fine. So I was okay with just using that. So I'm taking about half an inch off each side and I'm going to stick it down to the center of the cardstock. And I'm not going to gut the inside. I can't see having to use that green too much, and because this is the last green pattern paper that's in the kit, and there's still a whole other one. So, and this paper was feeling a little flimsy, so by gluing it down, it's making it so that it's sturdier. And sometimes I like to gut the inside, and sometimes I just like it to be nice and sturdy. So my ATG gun is run out, but instead of refilling it, I just grabbed my it's a Stampin' Up. Oh, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called, but it's a little thing. It's basically like ATG, but it's a glue runner. It's just small, and I've had that for years and years and years. And while I was packing, I found a whole bunch, and I thought, you know what? I might as well use them. So whenever my ATG runs out while I'm doing a page, instead of refilling it on camera, I'll just grab that one from there, and then that way they'll get used up. Now what I'm doing is I'm using one of those frames again from Amy Tangerine. I added it to some vellum, and then I took one of those 3x3s or 4x4s and I put it right on the inside like an Instapix, and it says picture this. And then now I'm going to start working on some of the layers, and one of them says here's the story, and that was a cut apart, or a die cut, sorry, from the Amy Tangerine die cut package. And then there was another little one that had arrows, and then I'm going to make another layer at the top left of the layout, and I'm just going to put a few little things there. And then there was a key, a silver key that also came in that Amy Tangerine die cut pack, and I'm going to put that to the bottom of the frame. And now I'm just looking at the different stickers that came in the different add-ons. And then along the circle line, what I decided to do was to put a few of those enamel hearts all around, just so it kind of promotes the circle even more. Now the April kit came with a 6x6 pattern paper pad, and that was the Project Life add-on that had a paper pad, and it's perfect. Like I'm probably going to get so many more pages out of this kit because of the pattern paper pad, because I'm using it as far as layering for my photos. I probably could have used it so that I could make some 3x4 cards and 4x6 cards for my Project Life, but I'd rather get more pages done with, you know, my regular scrapbook, and then whatever is left over, I'm probably going to get 1 page done this month with the Project Life, because instead of using it in my Project Life, I'm going to end up using it on my regular layout. So the top layer there, I just took a little die cut that came from the Amy Tangerine. I think it said here's the story, but it was already said somewhere else on the layout. So I just cut the bottom of it, and it's like a little notepad, and I cut it down, and then there was some half circles there that matches the Amy Tangerine papers. And then I'm just going to put a few stickers, and I'm going to put some gray and some pink stickers. I'm going to use a few more of those enamel shapes that were also from the Amy Tangerine. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few of those stickers in that silver and white, and there's a few asterisks, and then for the top one it's a little smaller, so I just put a dot there so that it does bring that to the top of the layout, but you know, it doesn't overwhelm it. Now I'm going to take a stamp that came in, it's an Avilicious or Ellie Studio stamp, and it just says I heart you, and that again I'm putting it along the circle. And what I did was I stamped it off so that it wouldn't be as, you know, predominant or really boom in your face on the layout. And here are a few close-ups of all the embellishment clusters, and that's it. This page is done. I hope you're all having an awesome week. Thanks for watching. Bye.